Hello everybody and welcome back. We are here for the Altered Index 2025 challenge. This is the challenge that I'm running in my Facebook group, Non-Stop Papercrafts, and also here on this channel. There are lots of people involved in this and that are following along and sharing either on their own social media or on YouTube. If you follow the hashtag, you can get lots of inspiration from those people as well. We are here on week 29. And the prompt is cityscapes. Now you can get this prompt list if you like for free in my Ko-fi shop. I have a link tree down below where all of my links are, so you'll be able to hop over to Ko-fi that way. And then if you search in the shop rather than trawling through all of the freebies, if you just type in the search box in the shop, index, and then you'll get this year's list and also last year's if you are interested. You certainly don't have to catch up if you're only just joining us and finding out about the challenge. You can just start from week 29. That's not a problem. So as I said, it is cityscapes this week. I have started to gather some different pieces. So I've just got a scrap piece of paper to begin with. And I have got this stamp which has different buildings on. It's a hero art stamp. I don't think it actually says what it's called. Does it say somewhere else? Newspaper Skyline, that's what it's called. So it's Newspaper Skyline and it's by Hero Arts and it's a wood stamp, but it's got this lovely design on it. So what I was going to do is stamp this but onto some different, I've got all these scraps. I've got a great big folder full of different scrap paper. Now I know it won't obviously come out perfectly with the writing because some of these are quite heavily patterned. But so long as we've kind of got the shape of the building, and I will obviously trim around them as well. And then I thought we'd create a landscape, a cityscape on the index card. So that's going to be my plan. So first of all, I think I'm just going to do a lot of stamping and then we can cut them out and start arranging where they're going to go on the index card. So I'm not sure which is the best way to do this, whether to have the paper on here and then push down or to just push the paper straight on here. I think we'll see. So let's have a look at some of these taller ones first. And obviously I want to be careful how I'm doing this. So let's take this off. This was just a misprint that I had. So I'm just using that as kind of a page to lean on. So what have we got? We've got this. And I could probably get those two on that one. So I'm just going to ink up just these last two. Just make sure there's lots of ink on those two. Like so. And then I'm just going to pop this on. And then rub. Like I said, if this doesn't work, then I'll go back to the usual way and have the stamp kind of coming down onto the paper. But I thought that this might be a bit easier, because I can kind of see then where the paper's going, because obviously these are scraps. If it was a clear stamp it wouldn't be a problem because I can kind of see where I'm stamping, but because these are scraps I can't see when it's obviously down on the mat. So I'm hoping that this will work. Right, let's see. Yep, brilliant. That actually looks quite nice even with the pattern. So we've got one. Let's have a look what else we can do. So I've got this one. This might do the next two. So just coming in and adding my ink on those two middle two. Doesn't matter if I catch a bit of ink obviously on the other side, and then I'm just going to lay that down. And again, just give it a bit of a rub where it is. Right, let's see. Okay, yeah, very good. Like I said, I'll do lots of all the cutting out in a moment. I've got this, which is some dyed paper. Let's do those last two. Okay, so that way round. There we go. Oh, that's come out quite good as well. Right, okay, so we've got a few. Let's see what else. So I've got this one. This is a piece of ledger paper. Let's just tear that in half because we're not going to need both of them. Let's do maybe this one on the end again. So I'm just going to stamp that one and then pop that on there. But I thought this was a fun way to kind of have different patterns, different colours for my cityscape. But I really love this stamp. Yeah, that's nice. So we've got that one. I have also got a vellum one. Not sure how well this is going to do on vellum. Let's maybe do one of the smaller ones. And obviously the nice thing about vellum is I can see exactly where all that ink's going, but it's going to take forever and a day to dry. So I'm just going to pull that off, give it a wiggle and put that over there, and that one can dry. Okay, I've got a plain red one. Can probably again get a couple with that one. So I'm going to do these two on the end again. And just line them up, pop it down. Okay, two more. What else we got? We've got stripes. Let's go for some stripes. Let's maybe have these tall ones. I've got birds or stripes. We'll go with stripes. Yep. Okay. Got a tree or llamas. I think we'll go for the tree. Let's do again maybe this one because it's tall and thin. Now it doesn't matter if it picks up any of the other buildings on the sides because like I said I'm going to be cutting them out anyway. There we go. What else have we got? Quite like that one. Let's do let's do this one. Okay, and I've got some music paper. Can't remember if I've done music paper. Let's do these two. Now I'm probably doing way too many here. I'm just doing these so that I've got lots to choose from. And then I can obviously decide which ones I actually want to use. That's probably going to be too dark. Got this one. But most of these are just, like I say, scraps of papers that I've had for ages. They're just kind of sitting in a folder. I did start to use them in one of the journals that I made, all my different scraps. But I still just seem to have lots and lots left. This one's cute because it's a nice sort of textured bit of paper. So, yeah, I get two. So let's do these two on the end. go. And I think I'm just going to leave it there now because I've got quite a lot going on. Right, so now we need to cut some of them out and start thinking about how it's going to go. So I've had my index card actually going this way. So let's have a look at them. Which ones do we quite like? So we're probably going to want a bit of a mixture. Now I do like the green. I'm a little biased. Green is my favourite colour. And I'm not going to be like perfect about it. I am just going to roughly kind of cut the shape of the building. Oops. Sorry if you can hear dogs barking, but I've got my window open because it's a bit warm today, and suddenly I think dogs must be going out for a little walk around where I am. They've all started barking at each other. So right, so I've got a couple of the green ones. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to very quickly cut all of these out, then I'm going to come back because obviously you don't want to see me cutting all of them out, but as I said, I'm not being precious about going round too finely. I just want a few buildings, so I'm just going to cut some more out and then I'll be back with you. Right, okay, so I have cut some of them out. I've started to arrange my city scene. I really like how this looks, so I think this is what I'm going to go for. I'm going to use this scrap as a kind of background, so a bit of a sky. I know it's a bit more whimsical because obviously it's not the right colour for a sky, but it will do. So the first thing I'm going to do is just slide this off, and I'm going to try and keep all my buildings roughly where I want them. And the first thing I'm going to do is stick this down. So let's get some glue. And it's going to come down to about here. I'm just going to apply some glue down first, just so I can get that background done, and then we can start adding the buildings. So we've got that. Now I don't want that edge. I want to kind of keep it quite, well, I guess, snowy looking. Well, like I said, I know it's not snow. Do that, and then I can chop off the bits that we don't need. There we go. Right, and then we can start with the buildings. So I've got this one. Oh, actually, do I? No, I'm just going to glue them down as they are. I was debating whether to ink around the edge, but I think I might go in with a fine liner or something if I need to. So that's going to go up along the edge. Then I've got this one. Make that one just a tad higher. And what have we got? We've got this one. This one I'm going to kind of bring in the middle and just lower it down slightly. Right, then we've got these ones. Now it's obviously not going to lay down exactly how I had it, but that's fine. So this one I'm going to bring kind of in between those two. And I've got this nice colourful one on the end. So this one I'm going to butt up to this edge. Doesn't matter if there's a gap because all of these others will soon start to kind of go over it anyway. Pop that on there. This one can go there. Oops, I almost stuck my finger in it. This one can go here. Right, I'm not going all the way down to the bottom with the glue on this one because I'm going to bring this one down slightly lower. It's going to go there. And that means I've got these two. So I think that one's going to go on the outside, and then the little red one also down on the front. So it's slightly different to how I just had it laid out, but that's fine. Let's see, we're going to go there. Oops. And then I've got my vellum one. Which is going to go on this side here. It's still not quite dry with the ink, so I'm just being very careful. Right, let's put the lid on there. Just going to very quickly clean my hands because I'm starting to get black on here. And I'm just going to pop that down on there just to weigh it down while the glue dries where that vellum is. Okay, so I think what we're going to do then is trim off this bottom part here because we don't need that. Now the sentiment, where was it? I was thinking of this one, embrace the beauty of diversity, because obviously we've got lots of different buildings here. Now before I do that, I just want to find a fine liner, and I'm just going to go around the edge of some of these buildings, just see if that helps them sort of stand out a bit more. See how that looks. I'll just try it on one or two first and sort of see how it looks. There's no point doing it on all of them if it doesn't actually help them stand out. Wonder if I need a thicker pen. Hang on a sec. Right, I've got this set that was gifted to me. These are a bit thicker, these ones, so I wonder if these might just look a little bit better. Obviously it's with black ink anyway, isn't it, the stamp, so it might not necessarily make much of a difference. It does a little bit. Just creating that divide between some of the buildings. And again, it does not have to be perfect. Just give some of them some extra definition. think this thicker one's a bit better. Yeah, actually, I think that looks a bit better having that. Yeah, right, okay, so that is the cityscape. So I have a sentiment. It's just where to put it. Now I have got a lot of ink up here, so I'm thinking I might put it there just to kind of hide some of that. Oh, I've got plan. Don't want plan. I could go back on there. Use that for another day. Embrace the beauty of diversity. So I might just snip that down a little bit. Like I said, I'm going to try and put it right in the top corner just to kind of hide some of that ink. So embrace the beauty of diversity. So there's my card then for this week. I really like this. So this was week 29. The prompt was cityscapes. So I've got my city on using up different scraps, which I really, really like. I love this stamp as well with the newsprint. And we've got embrace the beauty of diversity. So we've got lots of different diverse buildings, different colours, and different prints on there. So really, really like that. I really hope that you have enjoyed this week's challenge. If you have, I would really appreciate a thumbs up. Also, feel free to drop me a comment. I always enjoy reading those. If you are not already a subscriber, I would absolutely love for you to do so. Don't forget to click that bell button. That way you are also notified of any new crafty videos. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next crafty video. Bye for now.